I don't care to sit on my shoulder.
All right. What's happening, guys? Yours truly, Xavier Smith, aka Coach X. And hey, guys, if you are into creating a new you, because the new year is right around the corner, then you're going to want to stay tuned for this, guys, because I'm talking to the creators of NuMee Total Wellness. It's a platform. It's what I like to call an excellent solution. So if you're into stuff like that, you got to do me a favor right now, guys. And all I want you to do is stay tuned. Oh, let me find there it is. Here we go. All right. What's happening, guys? Welcome back. Yours truly here, Xavier Smith, and I am here with two friends of mine, and we're just going to get right. We're going to dive in from the top most part of the pool, and let's just have some fun with this. Guys, tell us who you are, and give us a little bit of history behind the whole NuMee platform. The platform is yours.
All right, so I'm Ryan Small. I'm the founder of NuMee, and next to me is Todd Social, and he is the marketing strategist for the business. And
nice.
And here we are.
Nice. All right, cool. Okay, thanks for the intro. Now let's talk a little bit about this excellent solution, because what I posted just about 15 minutes ago is that if you're looking to create a new person, just a new you, with the holidays we're right in the midst of it. We got a new year coming to us, but you guys are talking about a whole all-in-one platform where you're meeting people right where they are, so you can help them create a brand new version of themselves. Do I understand that correctly?
Yep.
It's pretty cut and dry. I mean, a large part of it is when you think about people and beginning the new year, most people are focused on some type of resolution, something wrapped around, getting fit or eating better, or, simply, doing something that is healthier for them. The difference with NuMee versus all those very good entities that are out there that are helping people in certain strides is we've combined all those. So essentially, you don't just have to get fit. You don't just have to eat better. You also be able to make healthier choices. And taking those steps is really incremental, because most people, as you probably know, fail because they burn out from wherever they're starting at, because they're making a choice based off perception versus actual reality.
Oh man, you hit the nail on the head right there, man. I was just thinking this morning, we are all basically gigantic perception machines. And the way we see the world is through our perception, which could be different from our next door neighbor. So yeah, you're absolutely right on that. And from my standpoint, because I've been in the health and wellness space since about 2007 myself, and there's a recurring theme that I have noticed, and a lot of people use this word. It's called overwhelm. And a lot of people feel overwhelmed, and so they end up taking no action at all.
Yeah.
So it sounds like that you guys can meet them right where they are, totally beginning by breaking down those mental, sometimes psychological barriers, and let them know, hey, you're safe here, and we can do whatever you need at this very moment, and then we'll ascend from there. Is that correct?
Yeah. So we cover the mind, the nutrition, and the body.
Okay. Perfect.
So we want to help people that were in, say, my situation. I've been there, done that, and I was overwhelmed, and I didn't even know where to start.
Yep.
So it was just, you hear all this stuff coming at you, and this is good, then it's bad, then it's good, then this is good, this is better, this is supposed to be good, but it's not, just
Right.
all these things coming at you, and it's just like, you know what, I have to go to work. So
Right.
you just don't make a move because you don't know what move to make. It's just there's so much out there, and it's just so confusing and overwhelming, just like you said. So we created something that I wish I had before my health declined to the point where I was hospitalized. So this, like you said, we meet you where you are in your journey, and we help you. And it's not just we tell you, oh, go get healthy, or you should change your diet. This is a platform that actually will help you make those smaller, incremental changes in your life, and it helps you to change your lifestyle, not just tell you to do it.
Okay, cool. That sounds like a real excellent solution. We got a couple of comments coming in. One of my user friends says, "Hi, Coach X. Let us know who you are. If you do happen to stop on by and you're watching us live, be sure to drop your name, where you're from, so we can celebrate you too." Thank you for your comment. So this brings up a great segue. Ryan, tell us a little bit, if you don't mind, give us a little bit of an insight as to, because I picked up on the fact that your health took a turn for a decline. Tell us a little bit about that. Let us know it. Let's get into your world and how this came to be.
Okay. So I would consider myself to be pretty average American. I work, I have kids, I have 5 daughters, lots of bills, the usual stress that every man feels. And the consistent factor in my life is I have to be at work, and I have to pay my bills.
Yep.
I chose to have a family, and now it's my responsibility. So every time I would try to take control of my health, I would end up getting hurt. I was in an accident when I was younger, so my back and my knees aren't the greatest. And then every pregnancy we had, I gained just as much weight, but my wife lost her weight and I kept mine. So that didn't help. And it definitely didn't help with my struggles with depression and anxiety. And as the years went by, and my career got more and more intense, things just seemed so much harder,
Right.
Trying to navigate in the world. I was 350 pounds, and I was hurting all the time, like just physically hurting all the time. And that didn't help my psyche. And so over the years, my depression and anxiety got worse and worse, and I knew something was wrong, and I needed to take control of it. I just really didn't know how, and I didn't want to be driving across town all the time, going to this nutritionist or this dietitian, or, playing the game with the insurances and all this stuff. And so I just kept my feet driving and my head down, and I just kept going to work. And all of a sudden, before you know it, it creeps up on you, and you've got issues that you can't ignore anymore. And so it came down to that point where I had to make a change.
That's awesome. Ryan, I'm going to stop you right there, because I want to emphasize the point that just sharing your message right now, we already found someone who can relate. This is Karen, so my champion from the East Coast. She says she can understand and she can relate. She also went on to say that she suffers from depression and anxiety too. So just by sharing your story, man, you're already making an impact. So kudos to both of you guys for sticking to your vision. And I'm glad I get to, play a small role in that, because, like we were talking about before we went on live, it's like this changing the world to make it a better place, that's what it's all about. And I for one am standing up for that. So thank you for sharing that message, because that ripple effect is getting ready to start building some momentum. Thank you so much, Karen, for sharing that with us, because we're going to get into some solutions. But before we get into the solution, let's take the stage and put the spotlight on the guy that's sitting right next to you, because you also have a personal story, and I would love for you to, give us a little bit of insight as to how you got to be here and how this has played a little bit of role in your life as well.
Well, I think my story is very similar to most 80s babies that grew up, that had a mom that was working hard and trying to take care of the home, and single mom, also trying to go to school and juggle family. And so a lot of it was, for me growing up, food was the only kind of, I guess, joy in terms of all of our struggles. You didn't notice a lot of things because we always had food on the table, and it was abundant. But in a lot of ways, because my mother grew up in the South, the food was what she was raised on. Mm-hmm. So in reality, it was suppressing who I was, because I wasn't able to really find my true self until I got older, because I thought that was the food I was supposed to eat, because that's what my mother made. And I don't even know, now that I've had time to really think about it, I don't even know if she knew that was the food she was supposed to eat, other than that's what was made, and that's how you fed your family, so on and so forth. Right. So when I became an adult and I left home, the reality of food was different for me, because I had this innate fear to go to a grocery store, because I didn't know, that there were options. So how you maneuver through the aisles and stuff like that. So I was like a lot of those people that are just standing in the aisles looking at different things, and in the meat section forever, trying to figure out like one steak as if it's so much different than everything else. But that was what I call like stage one of really dealing with it. Stage two was really breaking myself down, because when I wanted to make a healthy change to change my life, that's when the fear kicked in, because I was like, I was not educated on the difference in foods or nutrients or portions or anything else, because again, in my mother's world, you filled the plate and you emptied the plate. So essentially there was no portion control or certain type of ingredients and things like that. So I would go to the grocery store pretty much in fear, and I would be in my car in tears, because I didn't know if my choices were right or not. But I just had to make an assumption. And so it took me a really long time to get comfortable with going to the grocery store, making choices that I felt were for me, not what I thought I was supposed to get, but what made sense to me. Like I was gonna tell you a story that when we was talking the other time. Like I think a lot of people don't know like the difference between pumpkin pie and sweet potato pie.
Oh man, yes, love that.
That's
a huge difference.
There's now, first, we know there's a huge health difference, right?
Yep.
But culturally speaking, do people really know the difference between sweet potato pie and pumpkin pie?
I don't think so.
No. And so the thing is, I try to correlate, to my different friends.
Yeah.
Like you have to, if you're not in anything in life, actually, if you don't have an education on it, no one wants to feel dumb at anything, right? No one wants to fail.
Right.
So this is why NuMee is impactful, because most people are stepping into something feeling like they're already failing. Like someone who's overweight is stepping into the gym, feel like they're already failing. Like, how are they going to lose the weight? Or someone who wants to bulk up, they feel like they're failing because they're skinny. Or someone, you know, who has overeaten for a time period of their life, like, how do they stop eating? Like, they feel like a failure. They don't say it, but they feel like a failure. So it paralyzed their action. It paralyzed their activity. So for me, I was paralyzed by a grocery store. And so choices in the grocery store were like, for me, were like transition. Like, for instance, transitioning from something like growing up on all juice to water was a big transition, and understanding why, knowing why it's important. And so there was never a tool or a resource. I mean, there were some, you know, decent people, nutritionists, you know, some trainers that were trying to help me through, but they could only help us so much because they didn't know my family history. They weren't doctors. They didn't understand my DNA or things of that nature. And so it always felt like I was getting some help, but not total help.
Gotcha.
And so the reality was, when NuMee came along, for me, it felt more, it didn't feel like an opportunity to market something. Because to me, your health is your wealth.
Right.
It felt like an opportunity to speak for a lot of people who don't get to articulate that, or don't have, you know, people to articulate that, because you see them in the grocery store. You just can't say anything to them, and they're not going to say anything to you. And it's very easy to point out, you know, if that overwhelm they carry everywhere they go. It's just now the overwhelm comes into overeating, overbuying, being overzealous in what they pick up, or what they snack on, or whatever the case may be. And that to me is 50% mindset, 50% choice. So now if your mindset has the wrong framework, meaning that, you know, and this is any color, any ethnic background, wherever you came from, however you grew up, whatever neighborhood you grew up in, you grew up on that food. If you were Italian, you grew up on Italian food. You know, if you're Polish, you grew up on Polish food. So it doesn't matter. It all has the same principle. But now in today's society, where we have to really understand about what's in our food, and we have to understand what are in the nutrients. This is not anymore. This is no longer about your ethnic connection to your food. This is about your essential connection to your food. Yeah. And so NuMee identifies that, so it takes it a step beyond just, okay, here's a healthy recipe, or okay, you know, here's some good foods for you to lose weight. We really try to meet you conceptually where you're at. So a person like me, for instance, the turning point or pivot point for me was when one of my nutritionists actually took me to a grocery store and helped me to like walk through aisles, lose my fear, and be able to pick out foods that, you know, I felt were my identity. You know, so no longer I had this veil of, man, I got to go to the grocery store. And then the other thing that changed because of that is because I would overbuy, because I was used to, you know, I got to buy this to have this amount and stuff like that.
Right.
So I spent a lot of money on food that I didn't need to. And then the difference with that too is I spent just as much money going out, because then if I wanted something that was conceptually the same as what my mother made, I would go to a restaurant. So it actually helped educate me on food, my identity with food, and my relationship with myself. And that is the key of what NuMee does, is we help you find a relationship with yourself so you can figure out your identity. So when you go to the gym, you have your identity, not your trainer's identity, not, you know, the guy that's over there that just like, man, I wish I looked like him, identity, or anything else like that. Your identity.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you go out and shopping, you have your identity. And when you're at home and you're struggling either through your finances or whatever else, you have your identity. But we mentor you, we coach you, we train you, and we're there for you.
Man,
And so one thing, Xavier, I want to jump in here with is, you always, you could relate to this if you're in a fight. You know, you have your fight or your flight, that trigger, right? Todd was experiencing this at the grocery store, if he knew it or not at the time. You know, it was a panic moment, and he had, you know, he didn't want to look stupid standing there like, what do I buy? You know, is this good? Like, what do I do? And so in a panic, you usually make the wrong choice because you're not thinking clearly.
Right.
You're thinking emotionally.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the key things with NuMee is we want to connect you to a mind coach first and foremost, because if you're not functioning on all cylinders in your mind, everything else can revert to stress. And stress triggers the flight and fight. So we want everybody balanced, and then we could move into nutrition. Once you have your identity, now you're not comparing yourself to anybody else. What everybody else thinks, it doesn't matter, because now you know what you need. And then after that, after those simple changes, but to a lot of people, like Todd's experience, those weren't simple changes, but with help, they can be. And then after that, and you're comfortable in your own skin, you're comfortable at the grocery store, then we could start working into the physical, because we're not all about what you look like. We're more of the longevity, health, and it's how you feel. That's more important. So
anyway. I love that, man. I think that's one of the reasons why we resonated so well together. You know, upon you getting out here, moving, we got to talk about that at one point. Moving out here on your vision, soul vision alone, and just allowing life to continue to unfold all the answers as you know, pretty much operating on your faith. So we got to get into what it looks like right now. And speaking of which, let's just pull up the screen right here, because what we're looking at is your website. Can you see that, guys?
Yep.
Perfect. So let's walk through this together, and I want to have you navigate to, you know, what would you want a first-time consumer, what would you want them to know about this website right off the bat?
Well, first of all, I would want them to know that we, as NuMee, can provide you with your can. And we call our containers and our gym spaces cans, because they're upcycled shipping containers. And it makes it affordable. And we could put them in your backyard. We could put them in your carport. And so now when you're at the gym and you're comparing yourself to that buff guy in the corner, and your mind is telling you there's no way I'm going to get there.
Right.
You could do it in your own gym so that you could focus on you and where you're at. And it doesn't matter where everybody else is or what, you know, your goals, it's going to take one step at a time. So you could focus on yourself. Two, they're totally customizable.
Yeah,
so
I see that.
You could start off with, you know, just your space and a treadmill. So you can just be burning calories, you know, and then you move up and get other equipment as your body and as you're able to do other things.
Nice.
So again, it's totally meet you where you are and get you to the next step in a fast and fun environment with the help of an app. And all of our containers are equipped with all our smart technology. So you have all the connectivity to your community, your friends, your coaches. Everything's right there in your can to provide you everything that you need to stay motivated and engaged. So,
okay. Now, what if somebody wanted to get involved, but they didn't want a can? Could they just do, like I heard you say you had an app?
Yep.
Could they just get the app?
Yeah, you could just subscribe for the app, and it doesn't have to be connected to the can. The can was perfect for me because of my anxiety and my depression and stuff. I just did not feel comfortable in a gym. I felt like a fish out of water. So I needed to work out, but I just knew I wasn't going to last long at a gym scene. So I had to make this for myself. And yeah.
Well, part of the key was we wanted to make wellness mobile, but also local to where you were. So the combination of the application and the can is this: for those who are used to using their phones, then it's right there where you're at. Once again, with our motto, meeting you where you're at. So if you start on the app, that's totally fine.
Yeah, you might have a gym that you're completely comfortable with.
Yeah, we will also have an on-demand platform with courses and training from different practitioners and coaches. So then that way, if they want to do the whole home gym thing, they can, without the container. But some of the reasons why we suggest a container is basically this: the experience that you have in the container can help you isolate those periods of times when you struggle and help you then renew your mindset, reinvigorate yourself by that isolation, and then taking you back out into the world. So in a lot of cases, the can actually operates as what we call a preventative wellness arena for you to actually reinvigorate yourself. So you can go in the container and you can connect with the coach. You can go in the container, you can work out. Our first phase was basically to have like personal containers for people that have homes, but we're in development to have public containers. So people who have the app can then be able to find the nearest container, and they'll be able to kind of log in, go in, utilize the container as well. So that will be in some kind of our future development.
Man, that's awesome. So you're thinking of pretty much all possibilities. When you say meet people where you're at, you are absolutely just dial that in. So there's really no excuses that people have if they were serious about improving themselves. They have many, many options.
Yes,
definitely.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how this is being funded. I heard, or did I understand correctly, that you just got awarded a crowdfunding? Or tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we just got set up for a Mr. Crowd Fund, and so we're super excited about that.
Wow.
So yeah, the site is up, and people can be going on there and helping us out, and it's a perfect opportunity for an up and coming, an opportunity to become part of this up and coming company, and get some shares.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we wanted to basically give an opportunity for every person to be able to participate in, launching a company that's committed to their lifetime of wellness. So this is the opportunity and the vehicle that will allow people to be able to contribute and also be a part of the company. And so, because for us, we're just a catalyst to start it, but we want everyone to have a voice. So everyone who is an ambassador, who is a community member, who is a part of the team, everyone has a voice at the end of the day. And it's super important that through our funding, that's how we speak out into society. I mean, it would have been easier probably for us to just do like a lot of businesses do and go out there and try to focus on, being like a big company really fast. In today's society, you see a lot of fast emerging companies, but we really wanted to do it from a grassroots perspective so that everyone that we know can contribute and can have a seat at the table, and that everyone that has been in the places that we've been or has had the struggles that we've had or gone through what we've gone through has not only the opportunity to contribute, but participate. So there's a goal for them, because if we had it to choose, everybody would have a can, because we believe the difference is when you have that app and you have that can, I mean, if you think about it, to me, I've always thought of this. There are 5 minutes in your life that are really important, where you make bad choices and it leads to a series of decisions and it takes you down a road, you know, that you didn't even know that you were going to end up in, or you switch, you know, something happens where you switch and you change and you're like, this is it. And you go and you pivot a different direction. Now, the macro of that is, oh yeah, it could be within a month or could be within a year, could be within a season of your life, but it's that one switch. And the problem is, what if, you know, you need 5 minutes to change and make that change in your head, which makes a transactional change in the rest of your life, which then also affects everybody else that's around you. Well, you don't have that when you don't have a place where you can go to,
where you feel safe.
Exactly. Yeah,
So,
this right here is it sounds like an ultimate solution, and now it's just a matter of getting the word out. So
right.
this,
you know, real quick, the other thing that I love about this model of how we're crowdfunding and everything is,
yep,
when I had to start networking and get this idea out there, it was probably the scariest thing that I've done in a long time. And I say this to everybody, I fear public speaking, and it could be, you know, the depression and anxiety or whatever, but I think it's got to do a lot with shame, to be honest, and that vulnerability to admit my faults. And nobody wants to talk about how they screwed up, and especially, you know, their health. But this gives those people like a voice, you know, the gyms and all these things out there, they're specifically for a certain type of people. But what about the everyday working person that's overworked and that has these issues? They want to do stuff, but they just don't know how, and all this stuff. So I questioned myself a lot at the beginning, like, who am I to try to bring this, you know, to the public? Like, I don't have college. I'm not a nutritionist, you know, all this stuff. And I was doubting myself, but we all have to have a voice, and it gives those people, this crowdfund opportunity gives those people that opportunity to be a part of it and to be that voice. And it helps me feel better that I'm not the only one, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, because I got to tell you, man, considering the current state of where we are as a country, as a globe, and you guys come in with stuff like this, you know, it speaks volumes as to, you know, what you really want to get out into the world, as far as going a little bit deeper, going above and beyond what most people would do. So this right here, man, it just speaks volumes to, you know, where you're trying to go. And like I said, I kind of felt compelled. I guess that's the best word for it. Compelled to do something along the lines of, hey, let's get this thing out a little bit more, because we want people to know about it.
Yeah,
so
we appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, so let's do a little bit more. We're gonna see what this is all about. If I take a gander over to all these links at the top of the page, can we click on those?
Yep.
Perfect. So let's check out the crowdfunding.
Go a little bit higher on the crowdfunding. I think it's off a little bit, but if you go a little bit higher, you'll see the hand on it pop up.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Maybe on my end it's not showing up. I got franchise, I got the can, I got the app. Maybe it's at the bottom of the page. Is there stuff at the footer?
Yeah.
Let's check that out. All right, so it's not happening for me on my end.
That's weird because we were actually just on it before this, and it was going everywhere.
Technology, you gotta love it.
No.
So you got many different variations. You, as far as the can is concerned, you got a whole like separate component where guys can come out to someone's home and test it out and put a customized like can that fits right into their own ecosystem, basically, right?
Yeah, we didn't want these to be an eyesore.
Yeah.
And some of these shipping containers are pretty ugly. But they're doing such an amazing job with these cans now, doing tiny homes and all kinds of buildings and stuff. So
Oh yeah.
so that wasn't a problem to customize it to fit your surroundings.
So you got the standard can, you got an advanced can. You can go all the way up to multi-unit cans, multi-purpose. Man, you guys thought of just about everything. The deluxe, and you even have a platinum model.
Yep.
So you guys can cover from, the everyday person all the way up to, professional teams, it sounds like.
Yeah, we wanted to provide a space, a safe space, basically for all people and for whatever they're working on, whatever their goals are.
Man, that's so awesome right there, because not only are we talking, something for the body, physically getting people physically moving, but before you even get to that part, you want to work with that gray matter right in between the ears to make sure that is okay. So that right there is just mind-boggling, because a lot of people don't really take the time. Okay, here we go. They don't really take the time to address both of those issues. So appreciate you guys for doing that. All right, now here we have found an active link. Oh man, you guys are already off to a good start.
Yep, we just started Monday.
Okay, great.
So.
All right, guys, so here's what you need to do. If you are interested, if anything about our conversation has got you feeling a certain kind of way, then you got to take action. And I'm going to make it as easy as I possibly can. Let's check in for another comment real quick, because I think we got one. Oh man, I think this is my girl. Okay, so she says, I love this whole model. Good luck, guys. So we got another fan that just hopped on board the train right there. Okay, so if that's you, Karen, I thank you. I appreciate you so much for stopping by and taking the time to check out our conversation of excellence. We appreciate you. But this right here, guys, after the show is done, I'm going to make this, we're going to repurpose this episode, and I'll make sure that everybody gets access to these links. So if they want to contribute, whether, just sending us some good vibes or sending some financial energy, we're going to make it as easy as possible.
Nice.
Awesome. All right. So yeah, you guys are off to a good start. We got everything that you can possibly, all your questions can be answered by clicking on this link. We got the mission statement, the vision statement, the crowdfunding tiers, everything that you need is all on this page, is what it looks like. So yes, you got me as a supporter as well, so this is, I'm hopeful that this is just the beginning, the tip of the iceberg, as they say.
Yeah.
So is there anything else that you want anyone or everyone to know before we bring this train to a close?
No, we felt really strongly that Arizona was the perfect place to get this out, and so we're here. We are we want to be involved with the community. Reach out to us. Let's talk. Let's let's make this happen.
Love it, man. Hey, thank you guys for sharing your stories too, because if there's anything that I want people to know me for, is being authentic, transparent, and real. And when I get people that are doing the same thing, I think it just adds to that integrity base. So hopefully that will be enough to get people to take action. And we'll have to do this again. How does that sound?
Sounds good. So one of the things that I'll end with, if we're running out of time, is once we get the crowdfund done, we got accepted on the America's Real Deal show.
Nice.
So we are excited to jump on that and participate with that show. So we just got some preliminary things that we got to prove ourselves with, and then we can go participate with that. So we're excited about that.
I love it, man.
We need to be back on because we have to show the behind the scenes of the app.
Yeah.
Because when we say an app, the mistake that most people make is, oh, it's an app. It works like every other diet app, fitness app, and everything else. You've actually made it so it's a gamified experience. So two things actually happen. One, you have your own customized avatar that will allow you to actually connect with your avatar and progress with you as you progress in your wellness journey. Second thing is you will actually receive rewards points. So you could do anything with those points, like purchase items, maybe clothing, food, something that we're working on in future iterations. So we really want to take people through the complete journey because, again, we wanted to make it for them the easiest thing possible for them to actually pursue their wellness. So
it's a lifestyle.
We have a serious one. And for great practitioners like yourself, we're building a network where the practitioners will be able to meet and be matched with users, so their communities will grow because we'll identify what makes sense for certain people in communities to grow with them. So people that you might personally help will then be matched specifically with you, and people like those people will be matching you. So we're building micro communities for practitioners. So again, we can meet you where you're at.
Oh my goodness. Oh man, I just got a shivers on my forearms right there.
So if any of your listeners are practitioners or mind coaches or, reach out.
Awesome. Well, it's so funny that you say that because, well, number one, our second step is to get you into my facility so we can get you on my vibration plate. That right there. That one
on that the other day.
Yes, thank you, by the way. But that one piece of machinery is a game changer. Once I got myself on it, and then later found out that the Chicago Bears, Green Bay Packers, and about 16 other NFL teams have this in their training facility, it was a no-brainer. Then I started using it on some of my clients. I'm using it on a client now who had a stroke about a year or so ago, and he went from no use of his arms and legs to walking from his front door all the way to his back patio door, and this is just the beginning.
Wow.
So yeah, we definitely got to talk more about that, and the fact that you guys are thinking globally and all inclusive for people like me that can interject in at a certain point at a person's life to just help themselves get to the next level of life.
Yep.
And so yeah, I'm definitely eager to partner and see what I can do to aid in that process, because it is a process. But when you have the right network, it's almost seamless. So I definitely look forward to that part as well. So
Nice.
Yeah, you guys got to check this out, guys. If you have any inkling of feeling good about what you just witnessed, I'm here to tell you that these guys, we're going to do our best to have them, put a map on the area that they're in and just expand from there. So stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. All right, thank you guys so much for joining us, and for those of you who watched live, thank you. Karen, thank you especially for showing up and dropping your comments. And this will be available, and we'll be repurposing this for the duration because it matters that much. All right, guys, anything else you want to say before we part?
Thank you. Thank you for having us, and thank you for what you do. And yeah, let's help each other.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, hey guys, thank you for doing what you do as well, and we're gonna change some lives together.
Yes.
Until then, America, I just want you to be excellent on purpose. Bye bye.
See ya.